Here it is. The Empire welcomes you to this special episode of the Play Some Video Games podcast. It has come to my attention that the PlayStation Island and the Nintendo Shack think that they are above the Empire's law. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. My fully armed and operational cast members today will show no mercy. They will hunt down and destroy this Kevin and this Donnie. There will be no one left. The island will be dismantled, and Kyle will be outcast. I will do this with the high and mighty power of the Empire and the dark side. Now, execute episode 49. Welcome to the Empire. It is now time for you to realize the fully armed and operational power of the Xbox. To do that tonight is Coach Mo. Coach, welcome to the Empire.
Sorry, I like chills up my spine. I love that voice. I'm so glad to be here. I missed the Empire so much.
The Empire misses you as well. And also joining us, the newly appointed Sith Knight, Josh. Welcome, Josh.
I feel like I don't have a voice for a Sith Knight, so I didn't want to respond.
You sound good. You sound very Sith Knighty.
Okay, good. I killed a bunch of kids, whatever.
Oh, no.
You did what must be done. And also, hosting this evening is Nathan. Nathan, rise.
Wow, that was quite the Emperor. I mean, that was awesome. Do you guys... Thank you for coming, Palpatine. I know you got a busy schedule. You're rebuilding the Empire right now. I mean, the Republic had to be reorganized in this first galactic empire, and I heard there's some rogues that are about to do some sort of stupid attack, but I know, Emperor, that you're going to be able to smack them down.
Oh, all is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Awesome. That's great. So, I'm going to let you get back to it. Maybe later you can come back and join back in, but no pressure.
I appreciate the offer. Darth Vader, pick me up at 5 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing?
Such a menial task. Pick me up at 5 o'clock, baby.
I know, right? He's like, he just calls him up like an Uber, I guess. I mean, first galactic Uber.
I can't remember the R&B singer who sings it, but pick me up at 5 o'clock on the dot, and dun, 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 in the streets. You know what I'm talking about? That song just popped in my head. I was like, get it, Paulby. Get it. I like it.
Nice. All right, guys. So, how you doing? What's going on? Josh? What has been happening with you? And welcome to the Empire.
Thanks. I'm glad to be a part of it. I know that you guys scouted me for my excellent marksmanship, so glad to be a member. What have I been up to? That's a great question. It's been a tough past few weeks for us here, so gaming was on the back burner, but finally was able to pick up my copy of Gears 4 and Recore pre-Black Friday, which is pretty sweet. Popped those in last night just to try to get them installed so I can play them. And I played the first prologue for Gears 4, which felt great to get it back in my hands. I haven't played Gears for years. Sorry for the rhyme. But
happens all the time.
The mechanic is great. I still love it. It took me a while to get back into that sprint and cover mechanic, but it felt real good. And I won't spoil anything for people who haven't played it yet. But that prologue is pretty solid. Gets you back in that right mindset. Then I fired up Recore this morning, actually, before we started recording, just to kind of get a feel of what it was and kind of the overall. I don't know if I would say negative reviews, but I heard a lot of not so positive things about it. But I loved what I played.
Yes.
Pretty great. It has an open world feel. It's obviously not open world, but you don't really feel confined. The mechanic with your pet that you have, the pet dog you start with, is great. The combat's solid. It has a lot auto locking features, so you can really feel like you can take your time and enjoy it. And even in the first level, it added new mechanics right away, and they didn't feel tough to learn. And I'm excited, and it's probably honestly what I'll play after Thanksgiving today over Gears, just to kind of get more time into Recore. I really enjoyed that very much. Then I started my new review game. We'll see where that goes. I'm not going to comment on what it is or how I feel right now. But that's all for me.
Awesome. Quick question. With those two games, you said you got them pre-Black Friday deals. So did you get them from Best Buy, or where'd you get them from?
I actually got them from Amazon. I paid a little bit more than Black Friday, so Recore was $20 on Amazon. I know it was like $15 today, but that was for the digital copy. I got the physical copies, and then I got Gears for $35.
Cool.
On Amazon. So I paid a couple extra bucks, but I don't have to go out of the house tomorrow now, so it's worth it.
I got
Plus, once you beat them, you trade those in, you're gonna make $10-15 back on it, so it's worth it.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely get my money's worth.
I got Recore and Gears, the digital versions, both of them for $20. But I'm pretty happy with that because they're both Play Anywhere titles, so you can play them on the PC as well as the Xbox One, and your saves will go back and forth. And that was really cool with Forza. So I kind of wanted those as the digital copies anyway, just for that fact that you can go back and forth between the two. So that was my reason for not going physical for those. But in fact, I find I prefer digital just because I don't have to worry about clutter of discs everywhere. I know it's like a badge of honor to have a library, Mo, because you have one.
I do have quite the library.
And I used to be that way with games, but anymore, I just want it to be neat, clean, and so I could go to anyone's house and be like, hey, have you played this game? No? Well, here we go. Let's download it real quick. And be able to have that freedom to download a game, as well as with the Play Anywhere. If my wife wants to watch Gilmore Girls on Netflix and I want to play Gears, I can just go to my PC and play Gears without an issue. And pick up where I left off on the Xbox. It's a really nice feature. But
digital still scares me. Scares the crap out of me. Like one day you could just not have all your games. It really worries me.
One day you could have no power or no internet.
That's true.
And dinosaurs could rule the world.
They are in Antarctica right now, just planning their takeover.
Like Canada.
No, they're not in Canada because Canada, they're pretty friendly with the nature up there, and they would have known. And if the dinosaurs were in Canada, they wouldn't be planning to take over the world. But since they're in Antarctica, they are, because they haven't had much exposure to humankind, and they view us as a disease and a plague on the planet, and they will wipe us out. Whoa.
Hey.
What happened? Did you come back?
I thought he was waiting I think I was waiting for the Uber. He's outside for a second. He just popped back in just to say that, and then he walked away.
Oh, gotcha.
He'll just pop up, I guess, whenever he wants to. That's kind of crazy.
I like that. That's nice, though. It's like, keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, I guess you can't say no. He's the emperor, right?
No. Yeah.
I meant to mention, I did pick up Overwatch, because I had a $10 GameStop reward certificate, and it was what, $35 last week. So I did pick that up for. Unfortunately, they only had it for PS4, and I wasn't in the mood to haggle, so I have it for
Dude,
PS4.
I see the Emperor. He heard that. He looked like directly at your way when you
He
said
was like,
that.
whoa. I
Well,
wouldn't
he
be
should.
saying that on this one.
The Emperor should make it available everywhere, and then we wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, don't be throwing this on his plate. This wasn't his problem. You chose the PS4 version. You could have found it. You could have found it on Xbox One. I guarantee it.
I'm
In
like,
fact, you could have
I'm
gone to
Kylo
the
Ren.
digital store and bought it digitally for $35.
I'm the angsty Sith, so I'm gonna just complain to Dad all the time.
All right, Mo, what have you been going on with?
Sorry, I like that. I've been playing a lot of just little games here and there. This week I've played a lot of Overcooked. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they're here for Thanksgiving, and I was like, let me just see what happens. Cass isn't a huge gamer, but we popped in Overcooked and we just kept playing, and we went through level up to level up to level, earning stars, and had a really good time with that. Then Dads Beat Dads, me and my brother-in-law, we played, I want to say almost an hour of that one. Really fun little indie title. A couple of different levels. Achievements are a little harder than most indie games make it, but really fun. I've been playing some Madden, trying to get our league back up and going. I just been playing so many other games. My Madden love is not as intense as it normally is. I blame Josh and Dan and you for that.
What? Don't blame me.
I fully do. You guys made me. I spent years as like a hermit, just playing solo games by myself, not doing party chat, not talking to people, not interacting on Xbox Live. And then I met this great group right around this time last year, last Thanksgiving, and you guys brought me out my shell. I now, like, the first thing I do when I turn my Xbox in, instead of playing a game, is I look to see who's on and what they're playing, and
It's
maybe I
never
can
me.
join.
Spoilers.
I know, but I'm just that's been such a huge change for me. But yeah, I played a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Gears with Lace, a lot of what was the one I just got done? Destiny. I played Destiny this morning while waiting for this to happen, and yeah, just playing games.
You like to play some video games?
I do actually like to play some video games.
Excellent. What else been going on, Mo?
My football team did lose in the playoffs. That was a little bit ago. So now I'm back to being like a normal gamer. Basketball practice is a lot less tiresome. So basketball film compared to football film. Football film, that's a 40-hour week job. Basketball film, you can look at stats and watch between 1 and 2 quarters of a game and get a good feel for how the offense runs on the other team, who the shooters are they right or left-handed, and then you just play. So it's a lot easier job for me. So now I get home around 7 and I'm able to game for about 2 hours a night. Whereas during football, I would get home around 9 or 10, and I probably wouldn't game most of the time. So, but other than that, Black Friday starts in 12 some hours, whatever it is.
Well, actually, like your sales start now. If you go online.
No, for me, because remember, I get to work Black Friday at GameStop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So everybody else comes in at 5 in the morning, like when the store opens. I will be there at 3:30, going through and picking the things that I want, putting them in the box, and then buying them. That's why I do this, guys. I'm very, very excited for the things that I'm going to be purchasing on Black Friday. Very, very excited.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's my turn. Since last I was on a podcast, I played a few games. I played Overcooked, just like you, Mr. Mo. I've only played it single player so far. Definitely built for multiplayer because you got the other chef just standing there the whole time and just like, come on, like, give me, for a single player experience, it's not a very good game, honestly. But I can see where it'd be really fun if I had someone else to play with me, like my wife or something. If she would play or something, it'd be fun. So I'm looking forward to the day when somebody actually wants to play couch co-op with me. That never happens. I also checked out the Jackbox Party Pack 3. because I had a Jackbox Party Pack 2, and I had fun with that. The third
Can
one...
I play that with you from my house on my phone?
Yes. So if I load up a game and I say, hey, playing a game, and I like broadcast it out on Beam or something, and I say Beam because of the low latency. With Twitch, you got the built-in thing. It works better with Beam.
And it comes from Xbox.
Exactly. So if you use that, you can join from your PC, from your phone, whatever, and then you can get in on the fun. It's fun. You can have up to like 8 players usually. So
can I earn achievements that way, or can I help you? I would help you earn achievements that way.
I believe you help me. Yeah. So that'd be fun.
Right.
We should do it sometime. I would like to organize a Jackbox game night. I think it'd be fun.
Okay.
I also played some Rare Replay recently because it was there, and I did.
Those are good reasons. I like those reasons.
I was looking to see if I could just pop in there real quick and earn an achievement because there's like so many achievements in that game. It was at 40,000 or 4,000 gamer score available in Rare Replay. So I didn't earn any achievements with my few minutes playing, but I played that Western game. You walk around with like a 6-shooter and you just shoot around stuff. I had no clue what was going on in that game. I was just walking around for forever and just not getting anywhere, so I just stopped playing. I wish that there was a way to really understand what you're supposed to do with those games, because like there was a wanted poster for a guy, but I have no clue who anybody is. They all look the same. They all look like people walking around, and I don't know if they're just good people or bad people, because if I walk into them, I die. But they don't
just shooting random strangers.
Yeah, so I end up shooting people. I'm like, I don't know if I should be shooting you or not, but I am. So I feel kind of guilty in that sense. So it's kind of weird. But anyway, I played a little more Battlefield 1, the multiplayer, but didn't really sink a lot of time into it. I much prefer Battlefront if I want to play multiplayer games, so that's usually what I do. Battlefield 1's not bad though; it's a fun game. I wish that it had the aerial stuff more in the multiplayer, because that single player level with the aerial fight was amazing. That's what I want out of that game, is more aerial combat for multiplayer. Because in Battlefront, what my favorite thing was the fighter squadron. So just kind of shows my headspace on that. I also started playing Trials of the Blood Dragon. You know, it's the typical Trials game where you have the motorcycle and stuff that you run through the obstacle course. This one has the added in thing that you can sometimes get off the motorcycle, and do different things, because it's got that Blood Dragon theme going on with it. So you can also have a gun and stuff. You can blow up little turrets and stuff along the way. So
I like the one with the kids, the one they made for Xbox.
That's Trials of the Blood Dragon.
Oh, wasn't there one before that though? The one that was on the 360?
Yeah, Far Cry Blood Dragon.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my head went to that one.
Yeah,
it's free right now, isn't it?
It is either right now or it was just recently. Yeah, via Games with Gold. So, been playing a little bit of that. I want to get back to it and play more of that. It's fun. It's a funny like 80s-esque themed story for sure. So it's kind of got that little oeuvre going on with it. Also, as Mo mentioned, I have been playing some Madden 17 because Mo finally invited me to the Madden League. So
time out.
Took him a while to get me there.
Wow. All right.
I'm laying this at your feet, sir.
It's cool.
I'm laying it right.
I will take the blame.
You know, I only have 80 gamer score out of this game so far, and I find that sad. Like 80 out of 1,000 gamer score, 8%. Sad. Sad panda.
Yeah.
Also, I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight, Blast from the Past. Went through, and I've been playing some of the DLC that I never got to. I've played 3 of them so far. So the Harley Quinn, the Red Hood, the Batgirl one. Those are the ones I've played.
Is the Harley Quinn one good? Like, that's the only one I'm interested to go back and play.
The Harley Quinn one is not really good, I would say. It's just you're Harley Quinn in like GCPD, and you're basically doing Predator mode, but it's Harley.
Okay.
But it's fine. It's nothing to go buy a game for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I have the game.
Okay. If you have the season pass and like all the content, I would say go back and play it. The Batgirl one actually was pretty decent. The Red Hood one so far, or that I played through, was just kind of like blah. It was basically brawler.
Are there achieves attached to these?
Oh yeah, all of them have achievements.
Ooh.
I think the Batgirl one, I think I got 150 gamer score from that.
I like what you're saying here. I support these things.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get Mo to do something, you tell him that there's a gamer score attached to it, and that he can earn achievements while doing it. Next thing you know, he's catching Pokemon, trying to get achievements.
Yep.
Walking all the way around.
I caught a lot of those yesterday.
Yeah. Speaking of achievements, Mr. Mo.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Microsoft released the Solitaire Collection on iOS, Android, and other devices, which, if you're like me and have an Apple iPhone, you can download the Microsoft Solitaire Collection, sign in with your Xbox Live gamer tag, and earn achievements on your iPhone.
What?
Free game.
Can you name
Downloading now.
three other games that do that right now?
Halo, Spartan Assault, or Spartan Strike, one of those two.
Both.
Wordament.
There you go. And the other 3 that do it are Snap Attack, which is Wordament successor, Minecraft, the Pocket Edition, and Age of Empire.
Ooh, Age of Empires is on iPhone?
Castle Siege, yeah. It ties into the one that you have on Xbox Live if you have it on Xbox Live. So it's the same one. I got so jacked when I downloaded it and I inserted my stuff into it, all these achievements started popping, but they were the ones I already earned. Oh. So it was like, I got really excited and then looked like, oh, it's the same ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there's now 7. There used to only be 6.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
7. I'm hoping for more of that.
Yeah, me too. In that vein, so I downloaded the Microsoft Solitaire Collection because achievements, right? But yeah, I have never really played Solitaire before in my life. I didn't know how to play it before I started playing the game, and I didn't understand it. All I ever thought of it was like a card stacking game. Like it was a way to sort your cards by making a game out of it. That was my interpretation of Solitaire going in to what it was, and it is kind of like that, but it's actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I've only tried 2 kinds of Solitaire, the Classic and the Spider. I do not like Spider Solitaire. It's too messy. I don't like it. The other Solitaire is fine, the regular one, but there's other ones in this collection too, but I haven't played them yet. So
now I wonder if you already have that on the actual Xbox, if those achievements are going to stay together.
So if you look on my gamer tag, you'll see it in my recently played, and you can click on the game and compare and see if you have anything on there.
Okay.
So there's a way to check that.
Cool.
Continuing on in my game spree, because I guess I've played a lot since I was last on here. Star Wars Battlefront. I love that game. It's so good. That game has changed night and day since original release. It's been out for a year now. They released the Ultimate Edition for $40. Or if you're listening to this at Black Friday, which you are not, because this won't be released until after Black Friday, it's $20 at Best Buy for the Ultimate Edition of Battlefront. So that includes the Season Pass and the game for $20. That is a steal. That is fantastic. Yeah, $40 it's a steal because I paid $50 for the Season Pass by itself. And I paid $70 for the Deluxe Edition of the game. So I paid a lot for that game, and it's worth it. I paid $120. You can get it for $100 less. That's crazy. But it's well worth it. The new content for Rogue One is coming out just around the corner here in early December, in time for the Rogue One movie. So looking forward to that as well. And the Death Star content's really fun. I think, Mo, you and I were playing a little bit, and it's a great game. It's fun.
So the whole time when that one came out last year, I was like, oh, this is fine. This is okay. I had more fun on that 4 times XP weekend in that game than I had all the times before that. And a lot of it I got to play with you, but a lot of it I was just kind of, hunting for achievements, which I do. But I had a blast. And so definitely for $20, it's definitely worth picking up.
Mm-hmm. So if you see it for 20, grab it. Even for 40, it's definitely worth it. I highly recommend it. You can actually read my full review for my initial impressions on Battlefront at PlayStationVideoGames.com. What? Anyway.
Well done. Well done. Like that.
And lastly, last night / early this morning, I went back into Manhattan. I reactivated as an agent in Tom Clancy's The Division. So, specifically, I wanted to go check out the survival content that they just released. And I went and played with one of our buddies, Ray. and it is fun. The survival content is really interesting, and I only played through it once so far. It was a couple hours when I was in there. What you do is you're just put into the dark, or not the dark zone, put into like a new section of Manhattan that is really cold. Like there's a blizzard that comes through, and you're not really well equipped to last a blizzard. So you're kind of in tattered clothes, and you need to go either find clothes or find enough fabric to craft clothes. Not crows, that'd be weird. And so you can stay warmer for longer, and you can run from like building to building to kind of keep warm, as well as there's like fires that you can start, so you can stand by those and get warm as well. And then the goal of it is to, you have to create a mask so you can go into the dark zone. And then once you're in the dark zone, you have to go and create a flare to get out of the dark zone and find the antivirals. So I got into the dark zone last night. I went to an extraction point not knowing I needed to craft a flare. And then I was like, oh no. And I went, and then I got killed because you need a couple people in the dark zone in there. So, looking at you, Mo.
I was playing with family. Also, during this, I just earned a 10 Game Score achievement while playing. That's my first daily challenge.
For what?
On solitaire.
You did a challenge?
Yeah. I'm doing my first one right now. So sorry that I was hanging out with family on Thanksgiving. My bad.
And sorry that you're not present entirely for here. You're earning achievements. Apologize to our listeners, Mo.
Listeners, you know that I love you, and it's my job to just play all these games and tell you how great they are. So I'm sorry that I was playing solitaire just now. Phone is under the couch. It is away from me. I will not touch it again.
All right. So that's us for this week and what we've been doing, what we've been playing. And why don't we hop into some messages real quick?
Message for you, son.
Mo, you've got some questions.
Which means I have to grab the phone that I just threw away. Oh, irony. Okay. So the first one we have comes from one of our biggest fans, Miss Shy. And she asks, what are our Black Friday plans? So, Nate, what's your Black Friday plans, brother?
My Black Friday plans are maybe to go get some stuff for the dogs and just similar stuff around here. Usually our dogs benefit the most from Black Friday because they get food because it's usually on sale, and pet beds, toys, treats, stuff like that. They've recently... we need to find a nice pet bed for them that they won't like destroy, because they like to nest. They like to get comfortable and stuff, and by doing that, they kind of claw at the fabric. And a lot of these pet beds, when they claw at the fabric to nest around, it just starts popping up, and like the stuffing just starts coming out. And so, literally, where their pet bed is right now is like full of stuffing all around it. We have to clean it up like once a day, and it's always there. So I want to see if I can find like a nice pet bed for them that will be durable on Black Friday, because that's usually, always the goal, is something good for the dogs. As far as games go, though, the hiatus is over, ladies and gentlemen. It is over. It is ended. And as you may have heard in my gaming update, I played a few games that were coming out, or that had come out recently, like Trials of the Blood Dragon. And the reason why is because the Black Friday sales started pretty much yesterday. And I was able to get in on those deals, downloaded some stuff digitally. So as far as gaming goes, all of my Black Friday shopping is done. If there was something physical that I was going to get, it'll be here tomorrow. And I just don't... I worked retail enough years in Black Friday to really not want to go out a lot for Black Friday for any deals specifically. If I did go, it would be to people watch. I mean, okay, watching people is all I really want to do. But yeah, so Black Friday plans. As far as gaming goes, I'm already done. I got it all digitally, or it will be arriving soon because I got the Best Buy Early Access. And looking for stuff for the dogs.
Josh, how about you?
Well, typically, I will say this. It changed last year. I worked for Best Buy for 13 years. So after I left there, I decided I would not shop on Black Fridays anymore, out of a solidarity pledge, because I know how awful it can be for those retail employees. Until a couple of years ago, my brother went out and we ended up going to Target and getting DVDs or Blu-rays for like $3. I couldn't say no to that. So I kind of felt like a hypocrite, but savings. So who cares? Morals gone.
I'll give you $5 if you throw your morals out the window.
Exactly. And I'll do it. That's why I'm a Sith. So for this Black Friday, I got Gears 4 and Recore 2 days ago. That's going to kind of be it because we're going to Disney next week. So, I mean, I could...
World or Land?
World. The real Disney.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. When you're there, hit me up. I'm going to tell you 3 places to go. Remember, I lived in Orlando for a while. Okay. One is about 35 minutes away from the parks, but it is the best cupcake you'll ever have. Like, your whole life will change. You will want to move to Orlando just for these cupcakes. Like, sure. I still am going through withdrawals, and it's been almost a year and a half.
Do they ship them, Mo? Can you order them online? They ship them to you?
I asked, and she said no, because I'm actually friends with the lady who does it on Facebook, and she was like, we'd have to put these preservatives in that we don't do. It's not that it's healthy, but it's very is the word organic that you're supposed to use. Like she doesn't use a bunch of preservatives. Like she uses real sugar, real flour, real stuff, and they're so good. So hit me up and I'll send you some great restaurants.
I will do that. That sounds good. I'll tell you this though, if I was going tomorrow, I definitely would be picking up Battlefront Collector's Edition. That's such a great deal. That price is kind of ridiculous.
Just buy it online right now. Just do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have the money to spend. Oh. If I did have the money to spend, that's what I'd be picking up tomorrow if I was to go out. There's a bunch of good like Blu-ray deals too, but I don't have any big purchases to make this year, so if I did, we wouldn't be able to do it anyways. I figure every dollar I spend here is a dollar I can't spend in Florida, so and then we got a baby coming too, so I have to start thinking about baby stuff too, which is going to be, I got to start getting my games now because I won't be buying any next year. All right, yeah, that's all for me though. That's nothing going on tomorrow.
I am a Black Friday enthusiast. I love Black Friday. I love going as a customer. I love working it. I just am a huge Black Friday fan. As you guys heard, I will be going to work early so I can pick out stuff and put it in my little grab box and then buy it. But the thing that I'm probably the most excited for tomorrow, the thing that like has me super jacked, is GameStop and Microsoft have this sweet little tradition. They release these little packs of Microsoft currency. It's $50 worth of Microsoft currency in the pack, but they sell at GameStop for $45. So every year I stock up on those. I load up my Microsoft account with extra free cash, and I just use that for whatever I'm going to buy, those little indie titles that won't get a physical release. So that's probably the thing I'm the most excited for.
Nice.
So yeah, if you see that grab bag, go ahead and get it. Best solo campaign is our next question, and that's from Ben. Josh, you get to start this time.
Okay, well, this is what we've played solo ourselves campaign-wise.
I'm gonna say solo campaign over the last 12 months. So right. I don't want to go all the way back to, the best solo campaign ever on Xbox One, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh boy.
Dude, I couldn't even finish Ghosts. I got to a point where I'm just like, no.
No one did. Nobody finished it.
For me, it definitely wasn't meant to be played solo, but my favorite solo campaign I played this year was The Division. It definitely should have been played with more than just me, but I got a lot of fun out of the difficulty with backtracking and covering and basically running for my life a lot of times. But I had such a blast playing that. Probably more than I have in a game for a while, because a lot of other games, if it has co-op, I'll play the campaign co-op. For whatever reason, I didn't do that for The Division, and it was fantastic. I really liked it a lot.
Nate?
So you went ahead and put a cap on it and said the past 12 months.
Yep.
makes it more difficult because
You haven't bought anything new in 12 months.
I know, right? So, just trying to think. Like, the Division is actually really good there for me because I had a ton of fun with that, and most of it was played with people from that I know from Xbox Live, like Dan and Josh, and even Yumo.
EA.
But I mean, that was really fun. But I wouldn't necessarily consider that a solo campaign. The Witcher was the previous year, although the Hearts of Stone DLC came out.
I would count The Witcher for this year. I would count that in the last 12 months because the DLC and all the updates and the free stuff they kept putting out.
Okay, so if you count The Witcher as best solo campaign option, that is the best solo campaign option in the past recent memory for me, for sure. So good. I still need to go back and play the Blood and Wine, the last bit of DLC. The Hearts of Stone was really good. That single player game though is so good. Have you played it, Josh?
No, it's on my list that I want to play, but I tried Witcher 2 and I just couldn't get into it.
Okay. I gotta say, the complete edition that has all the DLC is $25, which is insane. Like, if you do not have that game, you need to buy it just now. Just don't even think about it and buy it, because that is hundreds of hours of content for $25. It's even available digitally, I think, on Xbox Live for $25 as well, which that's a great candidate for a digital game, because it's a game where you can just pop in there and not have to worry about changing discs out or anything, and just play it whenever you want to and just get to it quickly. Good. That game, seriously, guys, gotta play it. Mo, have you played it, Mo?
Yeah, I got probably 20 hours in last Christmas based off your recommendation, and was like, oh, I'm gonna make that a summer game. But then Destiny happened in the summer, and baseball with those guys, we were playing that a lot, and so I didn't go back to it. But it is on my list. Also, I went back and played Witcher 2. And that was something else I did this summer because I wanted to know more about him and the characters. Witcher 2 I enjoyed, but like you were saying, Josh, it was like that first 15, 20-hour window. Once you broke that, the game got so much better.
Yeah.
It really had a very linear, here's how you play introduction, but it was so boring that intro could have really just killed the game. And I definitely understand what you're talking about. So, also
maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, it's worth diving into, man. It really is.
$25, guys. I pay that much for like just the expansion pass. You need to get the game. I paid that much
for my Gwyn set that I got, my real life one.
I paid $30 for the latest set because there's two. There was one with each Switch with each Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone. So I think I paid $20 for the first one, and then I paid $30 for the second one because I couldn't find it by itself. I had to get it with the DLC. Which, by the way, I have the PlayStation 4 Blood and Wine DLC code if anybody needs it.
Oh, goodness. And our last question, family-friendly games, what's your biggest recommendation? This is from Carol. I'm going to go first on this one. Overcooked. If you have a group of people and they're sitting together and you can be on the couch, that game is so great with people. People who are watching it are laughing because you're not passing the tomatoes quick enough and the soup's burning and then the fire starts. Like, really great game to just do with family, with people around. Everybody's enjoying it. You don't have to worry about anything popping up that wouldn't be okay for kids. Just really, really high recommendations on that one. Go ahead and give it a try with a group. Josh, how about for you?
It's just my wife and I here. We don't play a lot of big party games, but Nathan kind of referenced it earlier. The Jackbox series is pretty incredible, and it offers so much variety because you may not have, if you're playing with a group of people, maybe 3 or 4 people, they may not all have the same taste, but you'll definitely find something in there that everyone will enjoy. It's kind of silly, crazy fun. It reminds me of all those good old days when we used to play like the Rabbids games and just like lose our minds with laughter. So I'd say look up like the Jackbox series. I think only 2 and 3 are on the Xbox One.
I'm not sure. The first one maybe as well.
Okay, even one. So and it must be cheap right now.
It's not on sale, actually. I remember looking at it because I didn't have it, and it wasn't on sale, so I didn't get it.
Gotcha. The disc version's on sale. Ba, ba, ba.
As a caveat, though, to that, as far as family-friendly goes, make sure you make it family-friendly on the game because it's you get out what you put in that game. So you can have stuff come on the screen that you may not want to come on the screen if somebody types it in there. So just be careful.
I'll tell you this though. Let me give you a non-Xbox recommendation. If you have family and you're over, since I'm a board game guy too, and we'll be playing it today with the family, go pick up a copy of Codenames. It's a blast, and it's easy. It's accessible to everybody. If you can read, you can play it. It's a fun game. It's cheap. It's like $20 brand new, and you get hours and hours of gameplay out of it.
All right, Nate.
So you mentioned mine, obviously Jackbox, but I also wanted to shout out for sure family-friendly game, just a lot of fun. It's only one player if you're on one console, unfortunately, but Forza Horizon 3, fantastic game just to play with friends. What? Why are you laughing?
It's a good family game.
It is. Because you can be like just driving around, pass the controller around, just do fun stuff, and be like trying to beat each other's scores and race challenges. Come on, great game. Anyway, other two more things for that. Peggle 2. You have to play Peggle 2.
There you go.
It's got multiplayer. It's fun. It's great. Mo loves it. And also a great little fun, crazy game, iDarb. So
iDarb is fantastic.
That's really good. I'm gonna have to install that one downstairs and play that with my brother and sister-in-law today.
iDarb?
I need to do that one. Yeah,
it's so crazy, and it's so fun too. Like if you broadcast that on Twitch or something, people can affect your game. It's so fun.
But that's all the questions we got.
Excellent. Thank you for shepherding us through those questions, Mo. I have one more question that I see on this list here, and you were too bashful to answer it or ask it, so I will ask you, Mister. Let's start with Josh. What game are you jacked about?
What game am I jacked about?
You don't know Jack. You can't say that.
Oh, boy. I don't know. Like, that hasn't come out yet?
The question's ambiguous.
Well, it was meant... That was actually going to be, like, a topic point, and that's why, like, I got rid of the stuff under it, because we're without a queue. But, yeah, it's like, what's coming up in the next 2 months that just has you just... so jacked up that finally get to play it.
You said 2 months. Why are you putting these arbitrary timelines on your question?
Well, because this is like that heavy time. Like you're gonna get a bunch of cool releases in December and January, and then you get that little lull in February, and then March and April you get some stuff, and then the summer comes, and that's where you get more games. So It's more like this winter holiday season, like what's coming that just has you very excited.
Is March?
Well, March, yeah. It's gonna be March for me.
So.
It's going to be, I mean, if I'm jacked about a game, if we can use it in context, it's going to be Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
And they finally just started releasing info, and they're going to be doing a gameplay reveal at the Game Awards, whenever that is. So I can't wait to get back into it. It's my favorite game series of all time, and I'm just really hoping... everything they're saying sounds great. They're adding the best things of each individual Mass Effect game. The relationship missions from Mass Effect 2, all these awesome things that I loved. I'm hoping that it lives up to the hype, but that's a game I will... it's coming out right around the due date of the baby, so if I work out that paternity leave well, I might be able to just sit down and play that for a week straight. Nice. While taking care of the baby.
Right, of course, yes.
Of course.
Mo, how about you?
Well, mine, it's the most important thing that's coming out on December 6th. The Last Guardian.
You're more jacked about The Last Guardian than anything else in the next couple months?
No, I was just joking, because doesn't the Rogue One movie come out on December 6th?
No, it comes
the
December
16th.
16th, but you can actually go see it on the 15th.
Then my joke was ruined. The one I'm actually excited for is Dead Rising 4. That game
looks so fun.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I had so much fun playing 3. I just started.
We've never played 3. We need to play 3.
What are you doing? How you doing? So I bought 1 and 2 when they got re-released, and started 1, really enjoyed it. But yeah, 3 was like my favorite launch game for the Xbox. I had so much fun playing Dead Rising 3.
That game was fantastic. It was so fun.
So Dead Rising 4 is the one that I'm just really, really excited about.
Awesome. If I can steal from you two, I am definitely excited for both of those. Those were on my list for games I'm excited about in the near term. Mass Effect obviously takes the cake as far as every game I'm looking forward to, but for something unique and different, I've been looking forward to this game for like a decade, and that is Final Fantasy 15. I knew it as Final Fantasy 13 Versus back in the day, and I remember watching the trailer for it. That's honestly why I bought a PS3, was for that game. And now it's come home to Xbox, which is where I will be playing it. And it comes out Tuesday, as we're recording this. So it comes out the following Tuesday. And I ordered the Collector's Edition, which I don't know why I did. It was like the Ultimate Collector's Edition. It was probably because it was limited, and I was hyped up, and
I'm on the waiting list for that right now.
You're never going to get one, though, just so you know.
You know what? You say never, I say maybe.
But I'm looking forward to that game so much. I'm not even going to care about the reviews when it comes out, just because I've been looking forward to it for so long, and it looks like a fun game to play. I know reviews are probably going to be, maybe 80s, 70s in that range. I doubt it's going to get 90s. I really doubt it, and I don't think it's going to be like a Game of the Year contender for a lot of purposes. I think there's going to be a lot of better games that came out, but this is going to be my first Final Fantasy game in a long time that I'm really looking forward to playing, and I'm super stoked about it. And right now, again, this probably isn't going to benefit you because you're not going to listen to it while it's still on sale, but interesting fact is that before the game is released, the Microsoft Store has it on sale for $35. So you can get it Tuesday, the day it comes out, for $35 because of the Black Friday sale right now. That's pretty insane. So I don't know if that's a good sign, bad sign, what's up with that, but
It's on sale before launch.
I know. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun game, and it's been a long time coming, and I want it to be good. I want it to be fun, and I'm ready. I'm ready for it. So let's move on to our main topic for this week. A long time ago, like 2 weeks ago, Donnie sent out a list. And he wants us to look at some questions on this list. And in no particular order, I'm going to kind of look through these because I think they're interesting questions to discuss and really talk about. So, from a previous year, my dog barks.
That was for effect, though.
That was for effect. I was pausing for effect, and then Ellie came in. So, yep. What was our best game from a previous year? So he kind of expounds on this a little bit. Every year features more games than any one person has time to play.
Lies.
What game from a previous year did you? Which game from a previous year did you? He needs to work on his grammar. Okay, I'm going to reword this. What game from a previous year did you get around to playing this year? So, basically, a game that didn't come out this year that was kind of maybe on your backlog. What did you get around to playing this year that you hadn't before? Josh, let's start with you.
Well, it's going to sound, as an Xbox Empire member now, it's going to sound embarrassing to say this, but I didn't get around to Halo 5 until this year. And I got it for, Christmas 2 years ago? So
it was sitting for 2 years?
I mean, no, I booted it up, I installed it, I unlocked all my rec packs and all that fun stuff, but yeah, I never sat down. I sat down with the campaign for maybe 20 minutes the day I got it, and I never picked it back up, so I finally picked it up this year and got some multiplayer in, and while people are still playing it, hopefully, and got some campaign time in. But there was so much that came out this year, I kind of just had to throw it in real quick just to I love the Halo series. I don't know what happened. It didn't sour on me at all. I just didn't get back into it. Usually, I guess my excuse is usually we get 2 TVs and 2 Xboxes, and we get 4 people over and we do a 4-player campaign, and that wasn't so accessible this year. So that's probably the real reason why I didn't get to it, but that's the one I got to this year that kind of was just sitting around from 2015.
Respectable. I'm going to go next because the game that I finally got around to playing that I never really got around to playing before. And I don't know if it was last year. I mean, it came out a long time ago, actually. But was Limbo. It came out on Xbox 360, I think, last year. And it was on... I'm sorry, not last year. It came out on Xbox One last year. 360 a while ago, maybe 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. But I never really remember beating it or playing it to its completion. So I did finally get around to that this year. And it was a fun game. Partly because of Inside. I wanted to play through it and kind of compare the two because it's from the same developer. But it's an interesting game. Mo, how about you?
Did you get the achievement for going left on that one?
I did.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. I'm kind of the problematic person for this one. I don't know if there's ever been a major Xbox One game, like a AAA game, that I have not played. But the one I can say, I played Destiny wrong for 2 years. I played it all by myself, no friends, no strikes, no raids.
By his side.
I did just the story missions, if you can call them that, and the Crucible. And last year, of course, I met Nate and Dan and Josh and those guys and Ray, and those guys are huge Destiny players. Oh, and Brian. I don't forget Brian. And so getting to play with them and going through doing strikes, I still have yet to do a raid. I've started a raid. I've tried to do a raid by myself, but I've yet to actually complete a raid. I'm really hoping at some point in time this year I get that done. But Destiny was probably the one for me because I was playing it wrong. That game's meant to be played with other people and to be part of that fire team. And so to do it solo just takes away from how great that game can be. So
Nice. So, kind of hopping on that train, what's a big game from this year that you have missed to this point, but hope to check out in 2017?
I don't have any.
Are you sure?
Name one, and I can grab the case for you right now.
Horse Racing 2016.
That was not put on a hard one, and it's not a AAA game.
What? There's horses. Of course it's AAA.
I bought Handball 2016 though the other day.
But Mo, I'm going to call you out because you said you've only gotten 20 hours into Witcher, and that's a shame.
But I played it. I got the general idea.
All right, so
20 hours.
What have
20
you
hours
completed?
is still a pretty good amount of time.
What game haven't you completed that you will complete?
Oh, haven't completed that I will complete this year?
In 2017.
I would say Mafia 3. I have I want to say about probably 3-4 hours left in that game, and I'll have that one completed. But that's one that I know I'm going to get that one done during Christmas break. I'm probably going to spend that whole first week just knocking out games, and then the next week knocking out Chiefs. So
Awesome. For me, I think it's going to have to be completing either... Well, 2 games I want to complete. I want to go through Just Cause 3 and play that because that came out early this year, I think, or maybe late last year. I can't remember. Anyway, it was during the hiatus. So I want to play that, and I want to play Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which was actually a last year game for sure, but I still want to complete that. I played it a little bit this year, but I want to beat it for sure by 2017. Another game I want to beat for sure in 2017 is Metal Gear Solid 5. I haven't beaten that game yet, but I've played, it feels like 100 hours in there. It's a fun game. How about you, Josh?
Well, that's mine. I haven't touched it. I've been trying to pick up Metal Gear Solid 5 since it came out, and in my opinion, I made the mistake of picking up Mad Max over Metal Gear because I wanted something new, and I really did not enjoy Mad Max at all. So that was a mistake on my part. So I got to pick up Metal Gear's Solid 5. I don't need the Ground Zeroes collection because I already have that, but I got to get through Phantom Pain. That's a big one for me. I've played through all the Metal Gears, and I love the series to death, so it's really killing me. I haven't played that yet. And based off on our conversation, maybe Witcher 3 will be on that list too. So,
Oh, yes.
so those will be my 2 I'll say that I'm hoping to get, whether it's like December, Christmas time, or early January, because I'm going to have to get my backlog up before March, so because the game buying will go on a little Nathan hiatus next year.
Nice. I also wanted to say that with Metal Gear, if you haven't played that game yet, that game has a ton of stuff to do. It has a ton. Like I said, I played a ton of time. I'm actually looking up to see how much I've poured into it so far, and I think I was only like 35% complete by the counter inside the game. And as according to Xbox, I have played how much time? Doesn't say. I'm looking on the Xbox app.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how do you find that out on the app?
Oh wait, no, it does say. So I've played that game for 2 days, 10 hours, and 43 minutes. So
Respectable.
that's 48.
Where do you find that on the app?
If you look on the app and you look under the achievements, it'll have your time played there. And that's my rank is 10 out of my 27 friends that have also played this game. So a lot of people have played a lot more time than me because obviously they've completed the game and had to go through a lot more. But so I've played it for 58 hours and 43 minutes so far. I thought it had been longer than that, but it's well worth the guy. Well worth it. One guy on my list, the number one, has played it for 18 days.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
I wanted to so one of those games like that I missed that I didn't even know I could look this up was Destiny, and I only played it for the first year, and I had 439 hours logged. So
that's pretty crazy.
That was something that took a lot of my life away from me when I was playing that game.
Destiny has that capability. So does The Division, and The Division I've played for 4 days. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
4 days. That's 48. What's 48 times 2? 96.
1 million.
I've played the game for 96 hours, close to 100 at this point. So that's pretty crazy. But since we're looking it up, I want to look and see how much time I've put in Destiny because I feel like I've put a lot of time in Destiny. Let's see.
You can tell me how much I've played too. I'd like to know that too. I want to know if I played more of that or more of Madden. So what was that, like 10 days on Madden? 9 days and a bunch of hours on 2016?
Yeah, you had a lot of time on Madden for sure because we had talked about that previously. The Division or Destiny, here it is. I have 9 days, 14 hours, and 56 minutes. I wish I put it in hours.
I played Madden the same night you played Destiny on 2016.
Dude, Q has 59 days in
oh dear goodness. Destiny. He has a month. He has 2 months. 2 months in Destiny.
Mr. Dan Anthony has 44 days.
I like that though. God, I love that guy.
Alex Duehi, my co-host over at That's Entertaining, 25 days. Wow.
I wish I got to play with him.
Josh
Maybe he can help get that raid done.
21 days. Phil Spencer, 20 days. Why So Serious, 18 days. There you go.
There we go.
Then Brian has 17. Man, I'm low on this list. That's pretty crazy.
I'm still trying to find out where I'm at.
You are 50th on my list. You are 10 days.
Woo!
And I am just behind you 9 days and 14 hours.
Tied with Madden. So I just can't play Destiny anymore.
So anyway, little trip down memory lane for where our time has gone. You look at all these games that you want to play, that you want to experience, right? And then you pour a week's worth of time into a particular game, and literally a week's worth of game time, not just, I'm going to play this game for a week. No, it's literally game time, a week worth of time. So anyway, let's continue on with the regularly scheduled program, shall we? Okay. Moving on. Josh, you like my sports voice? No? Okay. Because the best sports game of 2016 is the next category. What is the best sports game of 2016, and what made it your choice, Josh?
Well, I know Mo won't agree with me because it's not NBA 2K. It's got to be Forza Horizon 3. I mean, come on. That game is fantastic, and it got me back into racers. Just from the demo alone, just from spending, 20 minutes on the demo, I knew it was a game I had to get. And it's one of those games that you can even play it not as a sports game, so it has that option. But if for a pure sports racing game, you can't beat Forza Horizon 3. This is incredible. I could go on and on and on. I'm not going to, because just go out and get it if you haven't played it yet. And it's not on sale Black Friday that I can see. So
it is.
It is
$40 like Best Buy, and I think also online. or
Then
at
get it.
Xbox Store.
It's a great deal. It's a great price, but Microsoft doesn't need to even drop the price because they'll sell that game anytime anyone buys an Xbox One, or they should at least.
That game, so good. Such a great game. Okay, so since I share that same game with you, that's the best sport game of this year for me, for a lot of the reasons you said. I will go ahead and give Mo the floor because I think he's got more to say on this subject than either of us will.
All right. First, whoever made these lists is missing some categories because Forza should be in its own racing category because there are multiple racing games on the Xbox. I know PS4 and Wii U don't have any, but Xbox does.
PS4 does.
No, they don't. I've played them. No, they don't. With that caveat, yes, Forza Horizon 3 is a great racing game. But for pure sports enjoyment, NBA 2K17, it does everything you need it to do. If it had the same setup that Madden does on its user interface for playing with other people in a season, it would be incredible. It's not as good. Madden has that just fine-tuned and basically set up better than any sports franchise right now, whether it's baseball, hockey, whatever. But NBA 2K17 is just incredible. The gameplay, when you're actually in the game, is the best basketball simulator I've ever played. I love that they set up the practices the way they set up the practice, so people are actually like learning what a basketball player has to go through to develop those skills. I just cannot tell you enough how great that game is, just from a pure person who just loves the game of basketball. So yeah.
Fair choice. So let's move on. Best shooter of 2016. 2016 was a great year for shooters? Question mark? I'll read it like a Anchorman, right? Ron Burgundy. 2016 was a great year for shooters. I feel like that should be an exclamation point.
I do too. You know what? Let's change it on the notes.
No, leave it as a question mark. I want everybody else to do the same thing.
Okay, sounds good.
Which one did you like best and why? So I'll start with this one. As far as shooters for 2016, I didn't really get a chance to play a ton. Probably the most time I played in 2016 because I didn't get it a lot was The Division, because that I would consider that a shooter, right? Yeah, it's a third-person shooter, but it's still a shooter. So that's the one that I actually got a chance to play this year, and de facto, that's the one I'm going to play. I did play Titanfall, and I did play Battlefront 1, Battlefield 1. And I do think that The Division is a better shooter than both of those in a lot of aspects, just because the gameplay and everything. Mechanics may be debatable, but The Division was a lot of fun, and I spent a lot of time again with that game. And because I can't say Battlefront for this year, right? I think that was last year, even though there was a lot of content.
The DLC came out this year.
Yeah, the DLC did come out, but the base game, the Bones, came out last year. So I do think The Division is my shooter choice for 2016. What say you, Mo?
If we're just talking multiplayer,
you're not just talking multiplayer. You're talking about
I know.
shooter.
I have to caveat it for myself. Caveat it.
Caveat?
Caveat it. Just multiplayer centric game. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is incredible. Just amazing shooting mechanics. Wonderful, wonderful map build. If we're talking complete package, the whole thing, Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, the solo campaign on that feels like playing Mass Effect the way I would want to play Mass Effect. You don't have loading screens. You go from mission, you fly up to the spaceship, you land, you get off, you go and walk around the ship, you do different things, different missions, different upgrades. I love that solo campaign so much. And of course, Zombies is fun. I had a good time. Finally got to play that with some friends. The multiplayer is still, it's Call of Duty. It's the guns are very well balanced. The maps are good. Couple things I go without, but just as a shooter game, Infinite Warfare is very, very good.
Josh, you had the final say.
Okay. Well, let's let it be the final say. For real. No, if I could pick, if Titanfall 2 was out maybe 3 months longer and I could have more time into it, I might say it was Titanfall 2. But based on what I've played this year and most time I've played, it's got to be Overwatch. I haven't had more fun playing Overwatch. Sorry, that doesn't sound right. I've had more fun playing Overwatch than most shooters I've ever played, and I don't even know necessarily what their formula is that gets that in there. It just has this overwhelming sense of, I don't know, joy or happiness when I'm playing it for whatever reason. I love the roster of characters. Each character is crazy, unique. You're not feeling like you're walking through a map and picking up the same gun every corner you go around. It's just one of those games that really got me excited to get into the multiplayer version of shooters, as I'm typically a campaign guy. Like Titanfall 2's campaign is phenomenal. It's so good and it's so well written. And the multiplayer is good, but it's not Overwatch good. Overwatch is a game that's good enough that it doesn't need a campaign. And if you haven't played it, like I played it all the free weekends it did this year. I played the beta. I put more time into that before I even owned the game than I did to most other shooters I had. I can't recommend it enough. And if you can pick it up on Black Friday, pick it up because it's a great game.
All right, moving on. Favorite indie title, Mr. Mo. What's your favorite indie title of 2016?
Probably Handball 2016. Can I count that as an indie game?
No.
Oh, then I'm gonna go with Overcooked.
Sounds good. You've talked about that before. So my favorite indie title, it's really between three for me. It's between Perfect Woman, Inside, and Firewatch. So, off the bat, I'm going to throw out Perfect Woman because we all know how I feel about that game. And yeah, it's a tough call between Inside and Firewatch, but I think I'm going to give it to Firewatch. I preferred that storytelling, the way that they really went through that clear, concise, engaging story, and I thought it was really well done. So for me, it's definitely going to be Firewatch for this year. And Josh.
So I'm wondering what's going on, because we should all be able to say it was Cuphead, but Cuphead is never coming out. What's going on with that? It's driving me crazy. Actually, my favorite indie game actually is a game I never would have played if I didn't have to review it, and that's Sopico. It's nothing crazy in depth like Inside or Firewatch, but it's a very simple, fast, fun, incredibly challenging indie game. I had the best time playing it. And we'll see what happens next year. I'm sure I'll be reviewing a lot more indie titles next year, so I might have a bigger well to pick from, but Hopico was my favorite for 2016.
Very good. So, let's move on to the favorite exclusive of the Empire on Xbox, or we'll call Windows 10 Xbox as well, because, you know, they share. But really, Xbox. Favorite exclusive, first party. What do you say?
One answer. It's Forza Horizon 3. Like, we can't. I'm sorry, Gears is good, but Forza Horizon 3 is like the only answer, because it should be Game of the Year contention and on everything.
Okay, so your vote is for Gears, or I'm sorry, for Forza Horizon 3. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I can't argue with that. It was my pick. It might be another pick I have coming up. It's great. I already spewed on about it earlier. Forza Horizon 3, no doubt.
And it's unanimous. Forza Horizon 3 for me as well. That game is fantastic. It's, not just because it's a first-party exclusive or anything. That's just a fantastic game. It's really good. So, let's go ahead and lead into the next question. What is your game of the year? Doesn't matter what platform. What's your favorite game this year and why? And I'm going to go ahead and lead the charge. Forza Horizon 3. My game of the year. It is fantastic. It is stellar visuals. Great audio design when you're listening to the car, when you're listening to the road, when you're listening to driving on the grass versus driving on the dirt. It's fantastic how they put it all together. It's got a great selection for radio stations. If you want to just drive around and listen to music, it's got a fantastic photo mode. The game is beautiful, you guys. And it feels like when you're racing, it feels like it should. It feels like you turn like you should, depending on the setting of the car and things like that. It's just fantastic. It's the best racing game I have played, and it is the best game from all points of view that I have played this year. Forza Horizon 3. Kudos to Playground Games, to Xbox, to Microsoft. That is a fantastic game. Turn 10, obviously, started the lineage with the Forza Motorsport series. This is a fantastic game. Should be played by everyone because it's great. Mo?
I want to say
Madden.
Forza Horizon 3. No, Madden 16 was my game of the year for last year. For this year, Madden 17 is good, but it's not enough new for me to put in that contention. I want to say Forza Horizon 3. Like, my brain is saying say that, but my heart says NBA 2K17 is the one that I got to give that vote to. It brings up all these feels, these things that I remember going through, especially if you do the My Player mode, when I was a college athlete. And yeah, I just can't say enough about how much I love that game. So yeah, NBA 2K17.
All right. Josh?
Okay. As a new Sith, I'm going to fire some shots before I answer. Because we should be able to say maybe The Last Guardian is our favorite game of the year. Or maybe Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is our favorite game of the year. But for whatever reason, we don't have those games to pick from this year. I'm not even convinced The Last Guardian is going to launch this month. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there's no question. It's Forza Horizon 3. And just to go a little bit kind of like what you were saying, when you can pick up a game that has hundreds of cars to pick from, and every single car handles differently on every single type of terrain, that blows my mind. I mean, we should have had Gran Turismo to pick from this year, but we didn't. We had this awesome first-party title from Microsoft. And the auction house, how cool is that? I love that I can auction a car off that I found in a garage or, got from my DLC. There's so many interesting, unique aspects. The fact that the AI says your name when you start, it's small, it's tiny, but it's pretty awesome when the girl says, "Hi, Josh, what would you like to do today?" It feels like a very personal, perfect racing game. I don't know if they can even beat it with Horizon 4. If they do, and I'm sure they will. But they really killed it on this one.
See, I said the same thing about 2. I was like, how are you ever going to top this? This is so great. And they found a way. And I love that studio. I love the way they work. They just create some awesome stuff. So.
Yep.
I just wanted to see how far you guys would go. We're just kind of rambling on, but I got the yep, and that is definitely a sign that you are ready for me to take you on to something else. So,
or was it?
Oh, was it? That was my Ewok call.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were starting our own screenplay. Why Ewoks are better than everybody except for the Empire. What if Ewoks were recruited into Ewoks are really droids. I just changed Star Wars forever.
We don't need another George Lucas, all right?
Nope. Coach Lucas.
So, another thing about 2016, I think this is important because the Xbox One S launched this year, and I think it has changed the dynamic of Xbox for sure, and for the better. It redesigned the console that was launched and, cut 40% of the girth, we'll call it. It put the power supply inside the unit, and it is still whisper quiet, still really a fantastic console. And they even improved it. They put a 4K Blu-ray drive in it. They put 2 terabyte hard drive in it, up to 2 terabyte hard drive. And, they redesigned the controller that they did with it a little bit because it has the Bluetooth built into it now, so you can use that as well. And it's just an all-around fantastic console. It even improves gameplay on some of the games. Even though it's not advertised, it improves gameplay on some of the earlier titles, and even some of the later titles over the Xbox One launch hardware. So,
no.
Mo, you were going to say something?
Not to mention, it's led us to 4 months in a row of beating other systems.
Yes.
Yeah, all other systems, right?
Yeah. No.
I don't know if it's beating 3DS.
How's the Wii U doing?
To be honest, the PlayStation 2 is currently beating the Wii U in sales. Like, right now. You can go buy a PS2 at Kmart, and they're selling more than the Wii U is.
Kmart still exists?
I think so.
Because the one here closed.
Only in Montana and North Dakota.
Nice. So it has to be said that Xbox One had a relaunch this year. I think they had a resurgence. They had a strong year last year for sure with their game title lineup and everything. They had a strong title lineup this year with Forza, Gears, Recore. Some people really liked it. I haven't played it yet. But it's been a great run of months of being the number one console for Xbox One. So congratulations to Microsoft. It was a fantastic redesigned choice. I applaud you putting a 4K Blu-ray drive in your unit, because as a person who uses the Xbox as my entertainment center to play my Blu-ray movies, to play my TV, does Hulu and Netflix and all that jazz, I like that I can play out a 4K movie now, because other consoles don't do that own the technology. Come on. But let's do one more little impromptu, probably very skewed question of best of 2016. What was the best console launch of 2016? Mo.
PSVR.
Really?
I here's the thing, like, I love
That's
the
accessory.
Xbox One S. Yep. I'm gonna call it a console launch because it changed the way that I use my PS4. My PS4 and I, like, we might see each other twice a month. More when I was playing baseball with that awesome group of guys. But there's really no game on there that drives me to play the PS4. I just play the Xbox. The PSVR made my PlayStation 4 a reason to be turned on. I love the PSVR. I love every game that I've played on it so far. Valkyrie is incredible. I had so much fun with that one. So I'm gonna say the PSVR because it remade Sony for me. Sony knocked out of the park. PSVR works super well, and I really, really enjoy it. I hope that Xbox One takes from that win and sees that win and then does something better. I love the Xbox One S. My PS4 Pro is it's good. I'm not seeing a huge difference between it and either one of my PS4s. But again, so for me, I'm going to say the PSVR.
And well, you also got a Steam machine this year, right?
Yep. But that thing's only used to play Civ games. There's no other. I don't do any other PC games other than Civ.
Fair enough. And Josh, what say you?
Well, it's got to. I mean, I can't say the PS4 Pro just because I can't believe they launched a 4K system without a 4K Blu-ray player in it. So it's got to be the Xbox One S. I mean, it makes me want a new Xbox One. I don't have any reason to get one, but
you can get it for really cheap right now, $250, plus like 3 games and a TV.
Yeah, then I got to start looking at a TV. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I have an Xbox One and I'm envious of a new Xbox One console, I never felt that way about the 360 Slim or the PS3 Slim. I didn't need those. I had the main consoles. But owning an Xbox One Day One edition, still wanting an Xbox One S, I think that they gave everyone what they wanted and more, and it's a great price point for people to get in on. So it's got to be that one for me.
And I agree. I originally didn't think that I would be in for the Xbox One S when they announced it, but I had a launch Xbox One, and I decided, well, I can probably sell it and pay for probably half the cost or so of the Xbox One S. So I did, upgraded, and I'm glad I did. It's a great little console. I like it sitting there in my entertainment center. The white consoles have always been an allure to me. I kind of like them, and it's a good color, good design, and just been really well done. I'm excited to, when I finally get my 4K TV, play a 4K game, or not a 4K game, a 4K movie on there, because I'm a cinephile, and probably by the time that Rogue One comes out on Blu-ray, it'll be 4K, and that'll probably be the time where I need to get one, because Star Wars often drives my technology needs, and I'm looking forward to that, and I'm ready. It's great. The PlayStation 4 Pro, it didn't do it for me as far as wanting me to upgrade my Xbox or my PS4. In addition to the Xbox, good lord, I keep saying Xbox, I mean PlayStation. The PlayStation 4 does not have the PS4 Pro, rather. I can't talk. Does not have Darth Vader on it. My PlayStation 4 has Darth Vader on it.
Mine too.
So until they put a Star Wars Death Star, Picture of the Emperor, Darth Vader, Rebel logo, whatever, on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it'll probably not be in my collection. I really like the design of the PlayStation 4 with the Darth Vader insignia on it and the Star Wars console or controller. So sticking with that one. Pro won't do it for me. I didn't buy a Steam machine this year. The only other thing that I could consider a console-ish purchase was my iPhone 7 Plus, and it's an iPhone, so I still prefer my Xbox One for playing games. And yeah, that's got to be my console for this year for the launch, because hey, we had console launches, and it's cool to see that they're both honestly doing really well still. But the Xbox One S, man, was a great decision, and I think that's really Phil Spencer was a driving force in that. Ever since he took over, Xbox has really been thriving, trying to dig themselves out of this hole that they're in. They got Scorpio around the corner, and I'm super excited for that when it comes out, because, I mean, again, I'm always for pushing the barriers for technology and really having the premium experience on the platform that I choose, with the achievements and everything and the friends that I have. I don't want to... I can play games on my PC that probably look better than my Xbox One, honestly. But I don't have the community there. I don't have all the, Xbox functionality that I've come to love and use. And I don't want to sit at a desk and play games. I really just want to sit back, relax, and play some video games. So that's why I play a console over a PC. Anyway.
So you like to sit back, relax, and play some video games?
I do.
Okay,
Mo,
good.
Do you like to play some video games?
I do like to play some video games.
Awesome. Have you heard of this website? It's called playsomevideogames.com.
Please tell me more.
So they do all kinds of video game news, reviews, articles, and they even do podcasts.
What?
Yeah. So if you haven't yet, check out playsomevideogames.com. It's actually informative, and you might find a review from a familiar voice, like Kevin Austin.
But in text.
In text, yes. And also, if you go to YouTube and search Play Some Video Games, I hear there's even a Play Some Video Games channel on YouTube, you guys.
What?
It's crazy. Did you know that if you type in Play Some Video Games into your web browser and use the AOL keyword Play Some Video Games, you'll be able to get to the website Play Some Video Games. Anyway.
We are the best pluggers ever. I'm just putting that out now. Like, we should be being paid triple what we're paid now for these awesome plugs. You're
Well
welcome, other podcasts. Okay, because we're dominating it right now.
Well. So, this is the point of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, where we kind of wind things down. We thank you for listening at this point. So, let's go to Josh. What have you to plug? What have you to say? Your final thoughts for this podcast.
Well, my turkey dinner's getting ready for me, so mine's going to be short and sweet. Find me on PSN or Xbox Live. Both gamer tags are Why So Serious, SIRRIUS. You can find me on Josh Bones on Twitter. And look for me on PlaySomeVideoGames.com. I got a review coming out within the next week called Earth's Dawn for Xbox One. And then I'm on a little vacation. I'll come back and I'll do some thoughts on maybe Recore or Gears or something like that. But keep listening. I do have a special request I wanted to put at the end for our listeners who are listening right now. Well, I don't know when this releases, but there's going to be a PlayStation and a Wii U, maybe, who knows, year-end podcast. Nintendo Shack, sorry. They're going to kill me. Do me a favor. Listen to this, and I want you to get all your friends who have Xboxes to download and listen to this. We need to beat them for overall downloads. We need to crush them, because we catch hell after we do these podcasts in our chat, because nobody understands the Empire like we do. So we got to kill them so we can rub it in their faces. So please get on there, download it, get your friends to download it. We need some downloads.
Execute Order 67. Download the Play Some Video Games Xbox Empire podcast.
And that's why we keep them around.
We love
Dude,
that guy.
I thought you were leaving.
Darth
not five
Vader
yet.
has yet to arrive. Evidently, he ran out of thespian gas and is needing to refuel.
Ooh, what's our timeline? We may need to tell them some bad news about Vader.
Ooh, yeah, by the way, Vader may be, like, just careening off into space at this point.
Why,
You might want to ask him about the Death Star.
my Death Star is fully armed and operational.
Well, you might want to talk to a young kid named Skywalker about that.
Yeah.
No, Vader!
Oh.
Okay. I think
Sorry, Emperor.
he just literally just jumped out the window and is now running towards the bus stop. I guess he's going to catch the bus. He's like flowing in his
boy.
robes, and he's like pushing these little kids out of the way so he can get on the bus. Gotta love the Emperor.
Love
Mr.
that guy.
Mo, what have you to say?
PSVG listeners, tomorrow's Black Friday. Now I'm gonna go spend $300 on just random games, codes, DLC, whatever. If you download this, if you share it, if you pump it out there, and we beat them, we're gonna find a way, and I'm gonna give that stuff out. All right, but we need to win. If we don't win, I'm just gonna have a loot box sitting here with a little sad sign saying losers because we lost.
Hey, this country doesn't have room for losers anymore. Have you heard that?
Yeah. Okay. So let's make the Xbox Empire actually great again. And let's
Oh,
get
boy.
instead of the garbage that we have going on in real life, let's go with this good stuff we've got right here. Okay. I have no problem going out and buying these things. I have no problem sending them to you for free. I have no problem sharing the love. But we need you to help us do what's right and stomp on the Nintendo Shack. Thank you.
Let the orbital bombardment begin. they've already been relegated to a shack, and now it's going to be just decimated. What about the PlayStation Island? They're over there. I mean,
But here's the thing, like, you feel so bad for them. Their only exclusive game is Last Guardian.
No Man's Sky.
No, we're not going to talk. That's not a conversation piece. All right, I don't want to bring them down more. But you've had nothing for forever, so we can't. You don't even feel bad for them. They're like, oh no, you're fine, Sony. Do your thing. Hey, you can have Rise of the Tomb Raider now. It's only been a year. Enjoy. Okay.
All right, and for me, thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure discussing our Imperial plans with you. We hope to see you more on the Xbox community side as well. Remember that there is a community for you on the Xbox. The Play Some Video Games community. You can join it from the Xbox app on your phone, on your Windows 10 PC, and yes, on the Xbox One console. So please join the Xbox One community for Play Some Video Games. Add us on your friends list. We'd love to play with you. and really see what you are playing when you play some video games. So you can find the show on Twitter at PSVG. You can find me on Twitter at Voiced by Nathan. I also do another little podcast called That's Entertaining. We are posting our 100th episode soon. It's just been recorded, and so you can look for that soon. 100 episodes. It's kind of a cool milestone for us. And there's also a bit of an announcement towards the end of the podcast, so look for that. And you can find all kinds of video game news, reviews at playsomevideogames.com. You can find Mo on Xbox at
Coach Mahoney. Although I might change it to Coach Hulk, so look for both.
And on Twitter, you are
Coach Hulk.
Very cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are listening to this, we thank you. We are thankful for your listenership, for your interactions, and for your constant motivation to put out quality content. We do this for you. We hope that you enjoy it. And in that spirit, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. And I feel like I shouldn't end with Kevin's usual tag, never stop gaming, but he always wants
to do
to.
that. Yeah.
So
what if we're like never stop gaming on Xbox?
Oh, you could do that. But I'm just going to end with my semi-traditional game on.
What do you mean they blew it up? No, Lord Vader, you will not let this one down. How can we now overtake the PlayStation Island and pummel the Nintendo Shack without the Death Star looming in the skies above? No, we cannot just rebuild it. What? Do you have any concept of money? Of course not. You were raised with the Jedi scum, and now you have everything given to you, so you've never understood the concept of a galactic currency. What do you mean GameStop will give me 50% more for my trades? I do not have anything to trade. I am completely digital. Oh, I suppose that I could trade in the older consoles, but I like to have the legacy option available to me. I do not see your point, Lord Vader. I do not want the Switch. No, the Empire, the Xbox is where we will play, and this is where we will stay.